one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from MSN.com. A Metro Atlanta Police Department arrested a paraplegic man confined to a wheelchair after a woman with a history of lying to police accused him of kicking down her door and assaulting her. Charles Reed, who has been paralyzed for 25 years from a bullet that damaged his spine, showed up at the College Park Police Department last month, hoping to clear up false charges against him. While trying to renew his passport earlier this year, Reed says he learned that a warrant for his arrest had been issued after Catherine Jensen, a woman he had dated decades ago and hadn't seen in 20 years, called police on June 15th of 2024 and told them he had just kicked down her door, choked her, and then fled on foot after trying to steal her car keys.
College Park police respond to a home in June 2024.
Oh, thank God.
All right, how you doing?
After Catherine Jensen says her ex-boyfriend attacked her minutes before they arrived.
So what happened?
He kicked in the door. I ran. He choked me out. Tried to get the keys from my hand of my truck.
So he grabbed you by your neck?
Mm-hmm. Handle him myself. I'm too small.
You say he kicked the door in?
He did.
Besides his physical limitations that made such actions impossible, Reed was at a dinner party with friends on the night of the alleged incident. Now, he says that, and he contacted College Park police officer Markinley Belot, who responded to Jensen's crime report last year to set the record straight. After corresponding with him via email for a few weeks, Reed says he agreed to meet Belot at the police station to complete some paperwork. Belot's body cam video shows Reed's surprise on March 20th when, as he sat in his wheelchair in the lobby of the police station, the officer approached and read him his rights, questioned the origin and extent of his paralysis, and then told him he was going to arrest him and take him to jail.
Charles Reed is the man Catherine claimed broke into her home and assaulted her.
She said I kicked in the door.
And why is that a problem?
Because I'm in a wheelchair and have been for 25 years.
Oh, come there.
Charles cannot move his legs. He's paraplegic following an accident when he was a teenager.
I essentially surrendered myself because I was that innocent.
According to the body camera video, Officer Belletti questioned whether he was actually disabled.
Unfortunately, you do have the warrant out for your arrest, so I'm gonna have to place you into custody.
Is this a joke?
Charles warned the officer putting handcuffs on would likely make him fall because of his paralysis.
I'm sitting there literally exactly like this in my chair, and so he handcuffs me, and I'm like, hey, like, just FYI, like, I can't move. I literally can't. I don't have muscle control.
It's too late.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh! I mean, I could have broken my hip and died, like, very quickly.
How did they respond?
They literally sat there and just watched me writhe on the ground.
According to Miss Jensen, on this date, you forcefully entered her home and attacked her, Belot said. I certainly didn't force my way into anybody's house, says a stunned Reed, and reiterated that he'd been paralyzed from the chest down since 2000, was married, and hadn't seen Jensen in many years. One officer whom Belot checked with after walking down a hallway and into another room said, "It's a ruse, man. It's an obvious attempt not to go to jail." Oh, my dear God. He reasoned that if Reed could drive and wheel himself into the police station, he could break into a house. Dear God. But another supervisor, Sergeant Harvey Dorsey, seemed more concerned about the arrest in progress. After getting a look at Reed in his wheelchair, he said, "We're going to do our due diligence, because if you're paralyzed, somebody must have made a mistake." Now, then, talking privately with Belot, he said that Reed's withered legs looked similar to limbs of some of his own family members who were paralyzed, lending credence to his account. Said, "I would suggest calling the district attorney's office. Let them know what you got. because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in.
The officer still didn't believe Charles was disabled. Neither did his supervisor, who never put his eyes on Charles before saying this.
It's a ruse, man.
So,
I mean, it's an obvious attempt to not to go to jail.
So
A fellow officer disagreed.
might need to call the district attorney's office, because if the door was kicked in, he didn't kick it in.
Finally, Officer Belletti admits he could be wrong.
because now it's looking like she might have made a false report.
Records obtained by Atlanta News First show that Jensen was arrested in 2023 by nearby Noonan, Georgia police for theft, forgery, and filing a false report after telling police that Airbnb guests stole her property.
He started to hurt me about March of this year, and
A year before Catherine claimed Charles assaulted her, the Noonan Police Department, about 30 miles away, arrested her for theft and forgery after allegedly filing a false police report claiming someone stole from her.
This was information available to officers in a statewide database, but not mentioned in the College Park Police Incident Report, Reed's attorney Andrew Fleischman said. While talking with officers at the police station, Reed repeatedly offered to provide paperwork establishing the severity and timeline of his paraplegic condition. But Ballard insisted he must transport him to the Fulton County Jail to be processed, and that Reed would need to spend at least one night there until he could bond out and later plead his case to a judge. Tell it to a judge. Ain't my job. A U.S. Justice Department investigation found last year that the Fulton County Jail is overcrowded, unsafe, unsanitary, and does not provide adequate health care to its inmates with conditions so bad they violate the Constitution and the Americans with Disabilities Act. Reed explained that as a paraplegic with severe scoliosis, he had complex medical needs and that being put into a police car or even in an ambulance without his customized wheelchair could cause him injury. He pleaded with the officers to find a way to avoid or minimize his time in the jail and to let him make his case to a judge. How can we do this in a way that protects my body? He asked. A female officer then stepped in and told Reed he could come back to the police station and turn himself in at 3 a.m. to shorten his time in custody, but that nothing could be done to avoid his arrest and detention. I've never seen a case where somebody was so clearly innocent and it would take so little work to establish it, and nobody was willing to do the work, said Fleischman. Now, last week, Jensen sent an email to College Park police detective recanting her accusation against Reed. My mental state and physical trauma in that moment worked to confuse me, she wrote in the email obtained by Atlanta News First. Please contact me so I can edit the information in the report and clear the name of an innocent man. Fleischman said that a Fulton County district attorney told him this week that the arrest warrant against Reed was dismissed and that the charges would be dropped by the prosecutor. Jensen has not been arrested for filing a false police report in Reed's case. The city of College Park, which Reed said has not yet apologized to him, issued a statement saying it is currently looking into this matter with care and consideration. We understand the importance of resolving this situation and appreciate your patience as we conduct a thorough investigation. Yeah. This guy should sue for millions. Millions. Because he'll win. I mean, they're like, come on, you kicked in the door. And then when he falls out of his wheelchair, oh, come on, that's a ruse, dude. Get up. You know, it brings back the Big Lebowski.
I've seen a lot of spinals, dude. And this guy's a fake. A fucking Goldberger.
Stay away from me, mister.
This guy fucking walks. I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
You stay away from me. Walter,
I've never been more certain of anything in my fucking life. Come on, come on.
Put him down, man.
Yeah,
14, Jimmy!
I mean, and we're going to get somebody that loves cops that's going to say, well, things happen. The cops just doing their job. You think you're free in America? Well, that's a joke. Because in this country, you're only as free as law enforcement allows you to be. If they want to make up shit and just pull you out of your house in handcuffs, what are you going to do? Sue them? Good luck winning.